What up? Kenny G here. We got two oak trees here we're gonna drop, and we're gonna fall them down in here. There's a swimming pool here. They're leaning back. I don't know if you can tell. They always look different on camera. You can tell here. They're leaning this way, so we gotta put ropes in them to pull them. The thing is with these East Coast trees, they're not as tall as they are out on the West Coast. Like this one here is probably 75, 80 feet. They're wide. They got these big limbs. See, if this back limb here catches this tree as it's going, it's gonna cause it to twist and rotate and break off the stump, and it's gonna end up landing up here. So what we might have to do to compensate for that is to actually kind of sort of aim it more. Instead of aiming it down here, we might have to aim it more up here. And once this back limb here clears that tree, we cut it off the stump, and then it will land down in this hole. So it's a little tricky, but that's how you got to do it sometimes. Trick shot. And you can see we got a pretty decent split in this one. You know what? This thing's actually leaning down the hill. I don't know if you guys can tell. It's leaning directly down the hill. We might be able to take that momentum and get it over here without a rope, but we're gonna put one in it anyhow. This video is being filmed vertically from my phone. I was gonna do like a YouTube short with it, but then it ended up being a little bit interesting, so I ended up just doing the whole video. If you can get past that, there's some interesting things you can learn here. I got it up there perfectly around the limb, but it's stuck. It's just dead. The ball is stuck up there. Will it come out? Or am I gonna have to climb 80 feet up this fucking tree? Luckily the rope came out, or the throw ball. Now we're gonna tie this on. I'm gonna shut this off. Okay guys, we got the tree set up. Not. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So if you look up here, we have this big limb right here, and it's behind this tree. So when it catches, it's gonna make it want to twist and land up there, and there's a swimming pool and a retaining wall that we can't hit. So although we want it to land down here where I'm standing, I notched it up higher. So I gotta get this limb moving past that tree enough to where I can cut it off the hinge and let it sweep on by. Because if not, it's gonna land up here and smash this retaining wall and the swimming pool. So another thing to consider with this tree is this big split it has there. So if you watch, I cut that top corner first and I cut past that split. What happens with these barber chairs is you start cutting and you get to the split, and then the wood in front of that split is too much for the tree to hinge over. Then all the leverage from the top pulls that back strap and causes it to barber chair up. If you cut your hinge up in front of that strip first, then when you get to that split, your hinge is already made. So if the tree's like trying to barber chair, it's gonna take the front of the log with it, preventing it from barber chairing, so it won't barber chair, the tree will actually fall. So here you can see me, I'm cutting that upper side first, and that's the corner that I gotta nip off when this tree starts to go. That's the side that split is on, so I want to make sure I get that hinge cut up in front of that split so that it doesn't barber chair, so there's no wood in front of it to hold when the tree does start to move and the tops start to pull on that stump. It's just a really tricky cut, because if I don't cut the hinge off at the right time, it's gonna follow that notch and land up on that retaining wall, smash it all to pieces and bust up that pole. If I cut it off too early, then that limb's gonna hold on too hard and make it twist, and then gravity's gonna take that other big top that's leaning up there and it's gonna pull it up onto that retaining wall. So I have to make sure I let it follow that notch just long enough to where that limb is still gonna be in the other oak tree a little, but it's not going to be enough where it's going to interfere. It's going to be enough where it will let it go down through. And I'm going to cut that top corner off and let the hinge pull it back down into that hole. It's a little tricky. Timing is imperative here. It has to be cut at exactly the right moment. One little mistake and this thing's going on that retaining. So I don't know if you guys can look at this tree rocking. That's how much that thing was holding on there, and I cut it off right at the end. Because this tree, I don't know if you guys seen it on the video, but it was moving up here in this angle, but it was still caught on that other tree. And I cut this corner off right at the end, and it rolled it down into right here where we wanted. Perfect. Yeah, she landed perfectly where we wanted it. Perfect. So now we just have this little guy left. I'm going to toss the rope up there and we'll get it over. But that was a tricky shot, dude. One little mistake there and this retaining wall would have been smashed for sure.